The year is 2045. Sick of watching your family waste away, you decide to finally take it to the breadlines, burst through all the security, and make off with as much sustenance as you can to feed them.
Yes.
You break out of the glass of the security checkpoint and hoof it into the streets, and you give yourself about 2 minutes before the facial recognition drone cops decide to swarm, and
I don't know what I'm gonna do.
and you know that you have just enough time to make it back to at least one of your little hideouts because you got your boys that helped you set up the plan.
Yeah.
But apparently you might have been sold out because some of those drone cops were ready and waiting the moment you got outside. You run into the crowds, you blend in, you do your best, you use your escape tactics, and for the most part, you seem okay. But suddenly, the drone cops that scanned your face are plastering that face all over Times Square.
Oh, man.
Your face is everywhere. They're hunting for you because you stole food, and there's...
Fucked.
You're absolutely fucked. You do your best parkouring into an alleyway. You hoof it. You turn a corner. You hit a cul-de-sac. You got nowhere to go. And then the drone cops and their Ed 209s have you surrounded. The fuck do you do? Suddenly, from nowhere, a bottle rocket of Faygo lands on the drone cops and explodes, coating all of their cameras with gooey, soda-y garbage.
Who could this be? Willie?
Multiple colors everywhere, gooing up their joints, unable to move, like ninjas. Clockwork, a hand grabs you, pulls you through a grate and underneath a sewer, and before you know it, you're being led down hallways and paths. It's dingy. There's a bunch of people. It's kind of weird. You don't quite know what you're looking at.
Yep.
You hear the sounds of a chair. You see a wrestling match going on in the background. There's chains hanging.
Unexplained magnets on the walls.
And and before you know it, you're brought before the throne as two gentlemen stand up with their rags, but lots of big chains hanging from their necks. And they say to you, with their faces painted, "Welcome to the Resistance." Whoop, whoop! Because Shaggy 2 Dope and Violent J
have discovered a manner in which to defeat technology.
Preemptively, before facial recognition has a chance to take us over, the Insane Clown Posse's facial makeup, the Juggalos, are in fact the Resistance because they cannot be recognized by any future tech.
Which is really crazy because I was talking to
Whoop,
people.
fucking whoop.
I didn't think that was all that special until I discovered that those things can see through almost every type of makeup you could throw at them.
Anything.
Except for the Juggalo mask.
So here we are. This is what it was all about.
The Dark Carnival is a warning to the future.
Clown World is our only salvation. This is how we fucking do it. The attempt to dropkick Fred Durst was in fact a warning.
Yeah.
It was to let us know.
ICP champion shit wrestling was training.
Yes.
To fight off the future riot cops.
Something about Fred Durst that we don't know yet. He's gonna sell us out. Something about him.
Oh, dude, Fred would totally sell us out in a
He sold
second.
himself out. He's gonna sell us out too.
They're gonna
Keep
when they
rolling.
roll into your neighborhood.
Roll into the bread lines.
When they roll into your neighborhood with the pacification squad.
Yes, keep rolling.
It will be blasting rolling from the fucking truck.
100%. They were absolutely warning us, but this is what it is. And the Faygo grenades are the only substance sticky and shitty enough to keep them at bay.
We're living in the most bizarre timeline. I don't know when it happened, but at some point, ICP went from scary and trashy to kind of wholesome.
I think
so.
Two things happen. Three things. One, the Jesus.
Yeah,
right?
the Jesus.
But two,
that was the secret.
the classification as a gang / cult
Yes.
by the FBI led a lot of people to be like, man, what the fuck? I just come out, I get drunk, my girl, she's pregnant, and we just walk around shirtless, and we drink Faygo, and it's all about the love.
It's all good time, man.
It's all about the love. What's the problem with that, you know? And basically...
the man says that's a cult.
There's a whole... And there's a whole like thing where there's documentaries that people went in and started filming and whatnot, getting into the world of the Juggalos. Because seriously, if you're kind of that kid in that with that face paint, that you're the only one in your town, and you're doing it, and you're unapologetically, well, we want to know what's going on. Are you okay? Are things okay? How's it going? You know,
This looks scary.
Yeah, and I think that basically that sort of isolation and the fact that there was the classification and they were like, we want to fight back against that image, kind of turned it into more of a just, nah, man, it's all cool, but yeah, wrestling.
Miracles.
Exactly. And you know, wrestling and Faygo and random acts of comedy where...
And we've mentioned it on this podcast before, but never forget big money rustlers.
Never forget big money rustlers. Also, it's all love. It's all love as long as you don't bring Tila Tequila around. Because the moment that you do
is
that
she
love,
in that, or is there a feud there?
She's not, but she came to she came to a gathering one time, and at that gathering, she was not very welcome. And so the way they let her know that she was not welcome was by throwing not Faygo,
yes,
but feces.
Oh yes,
on her.
Yes,
on stage.
That's a cult.
So don't do it.
Isn't Tila one of those people that got famous because she was hot, and then it turned out she's fucking crazy?
Yeah, basically. Yeah, something like
just
that.
Absolute to the wall fucking crazy.
Like I think it was like one of those things like hilarious in like Vine-sized clips.
Yeah.
And then a reality TV.
Then you just film them for more than 1 minute.
A reality TV crew rolled in and went, oh no. And then the world kind of found out more. But yeah, they pelted shit at her, dude. It's kind of fucked.
That's pretty funny.
So yeah, and I've heard stories too of other comedians that are like, you get invited to the gathering because it's a gig, it's a paying gig. You come out to the fucking
so a clown Woodstock,
you know, exactly. And like, if you can win them over, then you got fans for life that are
loyal fans
that will always have you in there and will always support you and do absolutely, they fucking die for you, right? But you gotta get past that initial funk. And you know, and if you can, then like, yeah, it's all good. But some comedians don't make it. They come in, they try, they don't really know how to play it, and it just it ends in tears. And Tila, I think, was one of those acts.
Yes.
So,
wait, she was a comedy act?
I think she came in as a personality / comedy act.
Jesus Christ!
So. I'm not 100, or maybe she was singing a song. I don't know.
You know what? Any of those are just. Nah.
Either way, it resulted in her getting Silence of the Lambs, you know, and that ain't a good time. In the news this week.
Let's check out the news.
Real quick.
Yeah, let's do it.
Behold, it is Castle Super Beast's new logo.
That's the big news. News is over.
Yeah, so... Quite frankly, just to throw it, just so that you, in case you didn't catch it in the beginning, it turns out that Juggalo makeup blocks facial recognition technology.
Well, Wooly, that doesn't have to do anything with video games yet.
So you say. So you say. You know, and I remember the days of testing early Kinect, and I remember what that was about.
And Kinect was like, "Who is there?"
That's not a person. And I go, oh, that's a Juggalo.
Oh,
yeah. The only way to defeat this future that we're heading for, because hey, you want your phone to fucking recognize you. You don't put a password in it anymore. You just look at it.
Oh, I use my fingerprint.
Oh well, now you got options.
Yeah,
you got options.
There's so many pictures of my face and very few pictures of the tips of my fingers, so I feel like that's a safer option.
To be honest, what there really actually is here is the setting for a fantasy world where like a whole bunch of resistance fighters are fucking tripped the fuck out in their crazy Juggalo styles.
Jay, Can you get back into game development and make a goddamn Juggalo RPG like Undertale?
Like, the most Watch Dogs thing you could possibly do would be to put the fucking Juggalo mask on and be unavailable and unscannable by anything in the game. Straight up. They'd have to send real eyes out to get you because the scanners
robots
wouldn't
can't
work.
do it.
Be fucking sick. There's actual testing on how far it works and how far it doesn't, like exactly what it takes to throw it off. And there's like these pictures of like Juggalo face paint, and then there's face paint that's more like Kiss, and how like that also works effectively as well. Like they could have taken credit too.
Seems like it's something to do with the black and white.
Right.
Really fucks with it.
Yeah, well, it just because it doesn't really know where the eyes are because it's looking for black and white as...
It's not a natural human shade to anyone to have shocking white with dark, like pitch black in weird clown fucking shapes.
Yeah. Like the more extreme it is, the more it can't remotely tell where the face begins and ends. So when the time comes, you know what to do.
Good job, boys.
Bookmark this for the future.
You did it. You know what this means, right? We're going to have to cover the story in 2 years where the facial recognition has now defeated the Juggalo face paint to warn everyone that it's no longer going to work.
Well, now that's when the Juggalos like adopt phase 2.
Yeah. And
then we get like Rorschach style moving fucking masks.
You know what kills me? I don't know how far you got in a Judgment, but there's a character in that game that is like a minor side character, but he factors into the story. Where's Guy Fawkes mask?
Yeah.
It's straight up off the rack Guy Fawkes mask. And as a result, I can't take the character seriously at all.
Yeah.
I just can't.
That thing's... Unfortunately, it's just culturally gone.
Yeah.
It meant V for Vendetta once upon a... No.
You are an asshole.
Yeah. Whatever it meant. Who knows? I don't fucking... remember something? What? But yeah.
You just proved the opposite of your point in 1 second, so congrats.
Yeah. In any case,